John is a 30-year veteran of the media and entertainment business with broad management experience as a studio executive, film and interactive producer, and .com entrepreneur. But for me, in the time that I've spent getting a little bit of opportunity to talk with John, what he does for me, and I hope he will do for you, I think he'll do for you, is how do we make it real? How do we bring it down to street level and make the connections that we're all so excited about into something that we can make actionable? And he's got some real world experience in that and some great stories to tell. So please, quietly continue your eating, but don't miss a word that John's about to give us. John Tarnoff, please.
So my practice focuses on workforce and organizational development, innovation and creativity for education and business in media, arts, other fields. As Craig said, for the past 30 years I've been in mainstream business as an executive for studios, producer, and in the tech bubble in the 90s. It was a lot of fun. At DreamWorks Animation, in addition to production-related responsibilities, I ran their internal artistic education program and founded and ran their university relations program, which included work with the Cal State University system, including Cal State Long Beach. I'm told that the secret to an effective presentation, particularly when I'm competing with food, is to adhere to two important principles, brevity and repetition. Let me say that again, brevity and repetition. So I'm going to talk for about 20 minutes and try to hammer home a few points about the promise of digital media and hit them from a few different angles as a way of sparking a discussion. Hopefully we can engage together and come up with some ideas about concrete action steps. I'm very encouraged by what I've seen today in the breakout sessions, and I sense that everyone here is pretty much on the same page in terms of what the value proposition is here about the future of digital media. So I'm going to talk about stuff that you probably already know and see if I can help continue the weaving together process that is already going on. Can we turn the mic down just a little bit because I think it's, up here it's pretty gloomy. You kind of getting a lot of that? Go back there. So wouldn't it be great if my friends at DreamWorks Animation or Warner's or Disney or Fox or Electronic Arts opened a satellite studio in Long Beach? Not just a studio to film in for crews driving down the 710, but an active local business hub that would employ local talent and keep them in their salaries in Long Beach. After all, Long Beach is one of the active local filming locations in the LA Basin. It has an active local government, local business that would both support and benefit from such development. The city and community could no doubt figure out ways of working out with an LA company to build out space, provide a host of financial and tax incentives. Now, wouldn't this be a great boost for the community? Just to put Long Beach on the map, bring branding and prestige as well as jobs and other revenues. Well, I'm sorry to tell you, I don't think this is going to happen. This is like asking your banker to open a branch on your street because you'd like to be able to walk down the block to make withdrawals from your checking account. Hollywood is in trouble. Despite the best spin that we can put on things, and you know that we're very good on spinning, the signs are all over the place. Disney famously has pulled back from all of its outsourcing ventures. France, Florida, Australia. Electronic Arts has shifted from a satellite production model to bringing developers in-house. Long Beach is not Vancouver. Runaway productions to Canada for a number of reasons include union advantages, exchange rate, depending on the year that you're filming up there, the established crews, the different look of the city, the environments that you can shoot up there. Long Beach is not Bangalore. Outsourcing to India and other Asian spots like George Lucas's Singapore operation are driven by very significant cost savings and the development of new markets for international production. Overall, the whole business is in a bit of a spiral. You may have heard that Fox and Paramount had better years this year than last. Yes, in a hit-driven business, good years can be spun into an upward trend. But the performance of Ice Age and Transformers doesn't mean that the fundamentals of the audience are changing. For what it's worth, ticket sales last weekend were down about 14% from the same week last year. While I'm not as up on the economics of the gaming business, I know that the numbers there are changing as well. because packaged games are giving way to downloaded games, and the economics are very different. So with the DVD business faltering for movies, and new media distribution channels offering for the moment substantially smaller revenues, everyone is bracing for a very severe restructuring of the basic media distribution models that have governed the business for about the last 30 years. So I think it's unlikely in this climate for studios to incur additional overhead without a visible revenue source to offset it. It doesn't make sense for studios or independent companies or service providers or special effects companies to set up satellites, particularly when the local labor force is willing to commute to Burbank or Culver City or all over the Southland, from Orange County, Thousand Oaks, Pomona, or Long Beach. So my recommendation to you here today, and this is not falling on surprised ears because you're already moving in this direction, is to grow your own. If the media companies are not going to expand into Long Beach, then Long Beach should take the initiative and create a digital media community for itself. The benefits are obvious. Economic, the city can benefit from the jobs and everything that goes with them. Creating jobs supports the growth of the community, and the high profile and creative nature of the media business brings cash in. So what are the steps that you would need to do to make this happen? Develop a roadmap, develop a plan, and this involves setting up communications and cooperation between various stakeholders in this community, principally government, local business, and education, secondary and especially college, and the visionaries, the natural leaders who are part of the community, who command respect, and who understand the heart and soul of the community, and who know how to get things done. Because you have the opportunity here to make this an investment in the future of the city. This is not a quick fix solution. This is not about real estate development or traditional community redevelopment. This is about seeing for the future, about reaching out to the next generation and making a place for them in the community. Digital media is about people. It's about supporting creativity and fostering leadership. So let me just talk a little bit about digital media and reinforce some of the ideas and concepts that everyone's been talking about here today, from Henry in the keynote this morning through what I've heard in the breakout sessions. I'm the first one to admit that I'm biased, but even to an old school movie business guy like me, I think the digital is the most amazing and exciting thing to happen in this business since the invention of sound. Again, this is something that we already know, but it never hurts to repeat it. Digital technology makes it possible for people to communicate with unprecedented power. The power of digital tools allows virtually everybody in this room, and especially all of our children, to be what we used to call filmmakers, or today, content creators. As such, we all have the power to use these tools and skills to communicate with one another, to tell stories to and with one another, and to use these stories, that content, to address any number of themes, issues, or solutions that can apply all around our community. Making content, makes this kind of civic engagement come alive. It draws attention to itself because it's easy to disseminate, whether in an email, on Facebook, or on YouTube. And mostly, it creates dialogue, it promotes relationships. And when that starts happening, action and solutions are never too far behind. Quickly, a few additional notes about what distinguished, in my mind, the new media from the old, and why this is all for the good. Accessing new media is instantaneous. Think about it. Type a title or a word association into Google, and you can click on a link and be watching that funny parody video that you overheard the next guy at lunch talking about the next day. New media is pervasive. It is everywhere and accessible from anywhere, whether it is on your laptop at Starbucks, or on your BlackBerry on the trolley, or in an airport in Guadalajara. The same content, whatever it is that you want, you can get it. And you can get it whenever you want it. You don't have to wait for it to open in a theater near you, or for 8 p.m. on Sunday night. It's always on.